All right, guys, let's check out this Zodiac Super SeaWolf. I got to tell you, thankfully, I'm part of a kind of a watch community because I'd never heard of this brand Huckberry. So they're an online presence. They sell a ton of products. I'll put a link to their web store down below. They carry a ton of watches too, typically like more of an outdoorsy field type watches like Seiko's G-Shock Marathon, Ulsta, Zodiac, Timex, Luminex, Lume and more. So they did a collaboration with Zodiac, and they came up with this thing. And I'll drop in somewhere, maybe towards the end of the video, some outdoor natural light shots because this dial is crazy good. So this one is, let's see. There's the part number ZO9284. Doesn't really mean much to me. Retail price of $1,095, and they only made 82 of these, so they sold out really quick. And then we'll talk about the packaging and everything like that. But be part of something, you know, the watch community, guys, because there was no way this thing would have popped up on my radar. For some reason, I think it was my buddy Jerry messaged a few of us. They're like, hey, check this watch out that just, you know, was released. And you know, I kind of looked at it, thought about it for a second, and realized how awesome it looks with the pop of lime green and the limited production number, and that dial is just amazing. I just went ahead and did it. But otherwise, I would have never even known about it. I would have been, you know, like most people on the outside looking in going like, wait, I missed out on that. How I didn't even know that was a thing. I've never heard of Huckberry. You know, now I'll be looking on their website. They carry some a lot of other cool products too. So anyway, just wanted to drop that as a like a public service announcement or something. So case size on this guy, 40 millimeter, 48.5 lug to lug. You can see it's all brushed on the side. You have some polish. Well, no, this is all brushed. The only polishing done on this is like the bezel and the crown. So all brushed, even on the top. I thought those are usually polished. So all brushed, 48.5 lug to lug, non-drilled, 13.45 millimeter thick, but that's including the double dome sapphire crystal, 20 millimeter lug width. So you'll have a ton of different strap options. Comes with both this black tropic and this like lime green yellow type color strap. In case you didn't know already, Zodiac also makes a killer Jubilee bracelet that is made to fit this SeaWolf's, and they have a butterfly clasp, but it has like a spring-loaded thing on it. It's like a very cool butterfly clasp and a very well-made Jubilee bracelet. So you could source one of those and put it on this watch, is my point. Although, being this is mostly brushed, I'm not sure how well it would tie in. So 6.4 millimeter crown screw down, 200 meter water resist, and you can see the case back here. There is some longitude and latitude details there. That is in reference to the watch, what it pays tribute to, I guess, that Huckberry did. It's for any of the California people. I think it's technically San Francisco, but it's off the shore of San Francisco. It's called Devil's Teeth, or the Farallon Islands. So there's no mention of it other than the longitude and latitude numbers. So that's what it's in reference to, and I think that's what inspired this dial, essentially. So I'll put a link in the description to Huckberry, Zodiac, and a video I found on the Farallon Islands. Pretty interesting place, to say the least. It's not something you and I can go visit. It's only reserved for like scientists to visit and explore and do things like that. Tons of wildlife there. So in case you didn't know, Zodiac is owned by Fossil Incorporated. That's the parent company. So the movement used in this is also a Fossil movement, STP-1-11. STP stands for Swiss Technology Production. I believe this is COSC. There's mention of it on the Huckberry website. And I did throw it on the time grapher. It's actually running plus 5 seconds, just dial up, just with a quick wind. So it's performing very good. Well, so my point of mentioning that both the watch brand and the movement are both owned by Fossil, technically this is an in-house movement, right? I think that's the case. So 120 click bezel action on this. I believe the bezel insert is actually acrylic, whereas the crystal sapphire, I think I read that somewhere, but it still looks really cool. I'm surprised they didn't use sapphire if they did use acrylic, but that's what I read somewhere. I can't remember where I read that. Let's see. Let's pop this guy on wrist. We'll check that out. And then I want to show you the packaging. But before I do that, let's do some close-ups of the dial just in the studio lights. You can see there's definitely some texture there. And it kind of simulates like maybe you're underwater and you're looking up and the sun would be here and the light rays coming off the sun kind of burst out like that. That's kind of the vibe I get from it. If you guys think it maybe looks like something else, you can comment down below if it's something valid. So love the pop of lime green on there, and it's tied over in the packaging as well, obviously in the strap and up here on the bezel. Very interesting, unique handset used on this too. Pretty legible for the most part. I sometimes feel like the hour hand disappears a little bit just because of its polish, but you still get the block of C3 Lume that's chunked out on the end there. Has C3 Lume on all of it as well. So there's a close-up of the case back in case you were wondering what it looks like again. That symbol there is the Huckberry. As you can see, if I zoom back out, that is the little tree logo there for Huckberry. All right, let's pop this on wrist real quick, and then we can take a look at some of this packaging because it's pretty cool. And there's some things in this box over here that I didn't actually open. I was wearing my Damasco today, just in case you were wondering. Pop this guy on wrist real quick. I almost never get a chance to wear a watch on a Tropic strap. I just usually don't. Got it strapped down there a little bit tight, but you can see that's what it looks like on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Quite a bit of glare or reflection on the crystal. I am noticing that, but in natural light, it seems like it holds up pretty good. And like I said, the video that'll drop at the end, you'll be able to see that. It's just the angle of the sapphire, I think, with the studio lights. That's what it would look like. I'm not going to put the lime green strap on. It'd be a rare occasion that I would probably rock that bold of a strap. I think just the minute hand alone is enough. So here is a little, if you want to pause this, from Andy and Rich, the founders of Huckberry. So they have a little bit of a storyline there. Pretty cool. You know, not everybody can justify taking that risk and make it happen and capitalize on it. Sounds like they did. So here is the case that it comes in. Pretty fun packaging. This part I did not open up. I'm not really sure. There again is those coordinates. And so in here we have, okay, so this is just the manual tucked in there. And then here is some special. There's some mention of the Farallon Islands edition. And then there is that if you want to pause that and check that out. And then I think down here, this, oops, really nice cushion. It gets a little top heavy. And there's a tool down there too. It's probably a spring bar tool and something else. Let me see if I can dig that out of there. And hey, I maybe found a use for this. I still have yet to use that. I just used it. I found a use for it. To dig out other tools. So those are just taped over. It looks like a pin tool and a fork. So that's also included with it. That's kind of cool. Extra packaging. So, all right, let's kill the lights. Check the Lume on this. Before we do, I don't need to charge it. It's been under the studio lights. Let's just kill the lights and check this C3 Lume. Okay, so that's not C3. That's BGW9. I've never handled a C3 Lume that was cool blue. So on the website, the reason I said C3, because on the website it said C3 Lume. This is obviously BGW9. So C3 would look way more green like that. This is actually C1, but it would look more green like that. And that is not green. That is blue. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll drop that video right after this. I'll see you at the next vid.